I'm going to be turning 40 years old this year, and over the years I've never been able to work out if I'm a member of Generation X, Generation Y, or if I'm a millennial. The Book of Knowledge says that for Generation X, demographers and researchers typically use birth years ranging from the early to mid 1960s to the early 1980s. It also says that Generation Y and millennials are one and the same group, and that demographers and researchers typically use the early 1980s as starting birth years and the mid 1990s to early 2000s as ending birth years. I was born in 1979, which puts me right in that overlapping period. So I'm really either a young Gen X or a really old millennial. But Generation X idolised Molly Ringwald, saw the original Star Wars in the theatre, listened to Joy Division, Boy George, George Michael and Queen. They traded their flared jeans for Stonewash, played rugby in stubbies and went through 3 cans of hairspray every week. And the millennials, well, they grew up on social media, have never used a T9 keypad on a phone, can binge watch TV, and have never got in trouble for not rewinding a tape before returning it to the local video store. They saw the rise of hipsters, fancy coffee shops, and the finale of How I Met Your Mother. But for me, I recall all of these things, but I also played Pieces of 8 on the only computer in the school and had Carmen Sandiego teach me geography. I cheered when Rachel got off the plane, had to wait a week for new episodes of TV shows, and became fans of the Dukes of Hazzard and Chips from reruns, and my Subway Rewards program involves stamps pasted to a card. So when reading an issue of Adbusters, I read a series of words that punched me in the face. Analog childhood, digital adulthood. It struck me as an apt summary of how I view my timeline. It turns out that there is a term for those like me, a micro-generation between Generation X and the millennials, a micro-generation that covers the overlap. I found my place. I'm a Zennial. I agonised waiting for the dial-up internet to connect. I remember leaving glass milk bottles out for collection. I remember the first PlayStation. I remember when porn was something you found in a magazine in the woods. I remember the start of Friends. I remember colour-blocked cricket uniforms. I remember losing my mind learning that they were going to make more Star Wars movies, which I'd only ever seen on VHS. I recall when cell phones became a thing. I remember my first cell phone. I remember when cell phones all looked different. And while you too may remember these things, my micro-generation identifies with these things as key road markers in life. We smelled like Teen Spirit, we said it wasn't so, and we didn't want no scrubs. We romanced the stone, we knew what you did last summer, and we went on the last crusade. We had an analog childhood and a digital adulthood. We are Zennials.